it's rather marvellous because it is the oldest part of Parliament. Parliament burnt down in the 19th century, and that's why it looks in the neo-Gothic style that we all know today. But this is the medieval part of it. This is the most ancient part of it, linking to where the Royal Palace, Whitehall Palace, was now burnt to the ground at the end of the 17th century.
The news that the Queen had passed was brought to the Palace of Westminster, the chamber of the House of Commons. Ghana's High Commissioner to the United Kingdom also looking at these images. Hello to you, thank you for joining us. What would you like to say about the Queen on behalf of Ghana?
Well, I would say that the passing of the Queen is a great loss to humanity generally and Ghana. So, Ghana is a member of the Commonwealth. We've had quite close relationship with Her Majesty the Queen. The last time she visited Ghana was 1999. And at that time, Flight Lieutenant Rawlings was then a civilian president, and he was supposed to hand over after the election of 2020. However, there were doubts as to whether he would be prepared to do that. And the Queen visiting Ghana and applauding President Rawlings for his democratic credentials as head of the Commonwealth.
Thank you very much indeed for sharing your thoughts with us this morning, Your Excellency. Thank you. Speaker of the House of Commons will speak for around 5 minutes, and he will reflect what MPs and peers were saying during their debate. That only the 5th time the Commons has sat on a Saturday since the Second World War, and he will talk about their recollections of the Queen and also present the humble address. This is what was agreed by MPs at the end of that debate to pledge their loyalty to King Charles and their conviction that he will strive to uphold our liberties. So that's going to be a flavour of what he says, and then King Charles will of course respond, no doubt thanking parliamentarians for their tributes and picking out some of those which he found moving. But with MPs, with peers, but very soon, from Wednesday, it will be filled up. Members of the public, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of them will be in this hall, walking past the coffin of the Queen. And I think this is the image now. I think we will see the rest of the week, really, as we gear up towards that moment from 5 o'clock. I wonder about the impact that this will have on the Queen's 15th Prime Minister, Liz Truss. What could have started off for her on a point of division, her announcing cost of living measures, being criticised across the board for not doing enough, as you her, and starting off on that note of unity may well will give her premiership a different flavour. Absolutely. Will reply to the address. Afterwards, the King and Queen will travel to Edinburgh to lead the royal family in procession as the Queen's coffin is taken to St Giles Cathedral for a service of thanksgiving. We're seeing now the ceremony will begin outside the Palace of Westminster. The King is going to have a fanfare salute on his arrival. There'll be music from the band of the Household Cavalry, and we will end this event with the national anthem being sung. So 900 MPs are inside Westminster Great Hall. We're expecting the arrival of the King in the next half hour.
to those boots resonating on the floor of the Great Hall. Let's bring in our political editor, Beth Rigby. Beth, just talk us through what we're going to expect in the next few minutes.
Well, this is a huge ceremonial moment, of course, Jane, in which both Houses of Parliament have gathered in the great Westminster Hall, an 11th century hall, and behind the guards on the wall behind which King Charles will speak, on the stained glass window, there is a window in that hall which is dedicated to the Queen Elizabeth II to mark her Diamond Jubilee. That was a decade ago, and that was the last time Parliaments gathered in this way, both houses, to mark that moment when she came to address both houses. It's extremely rare for a monarch to do this. She only did it 5 times in her 70-year reign, to give you a sense of the occasion. And King Charles, sorry, I have to get used to that. I know, King Charles will come to the Commons. What will happen is there will be a fanfare of music, the guards welcoming him with the trumpet salute, and I think it's going to be the music of the household cavalry. Both speakers of the House of Lords and the House of Commons will make short addresses, receive addresses, a humble address pledging loyalty to the monarch. They will be very short speeches, and then King Charles will come and he will make a speech to both Houses of Parliament, no doubt speaking about the Queen and her service, and then maybe talking a bit about his reign and what he would like to do. But it's a very ceremonial affair, as I said, and a real moment in, again, the handover of power.
Let's bring in at this point the historian Sir Anthony Selden. And Sir Anthony, we know that the new king has met his new prime minister. He's met some of his ministers, so there's already been that connection between the king and government. But this is going to be the first real connection between the king and parliament, isn't it?